Yes. Amen and amen to that. Now now I'm thinking out loud. But may I propose a hypothesis? We've all been played. And we all do believe that we're in trouble. We all do believe we're in trouble. But we've all been played for power and for money. And we've all played a role, left and right, each of us. And to be able to say, you know what, I did these things wrong. I wish I had them over to do again, but I don't. But I'm not going to make that mistake again. And I'll take responsibility for mine. I'm not going to point the finger at you. I'm just going to take responsibility for the things that I have done. Even if they were with the best intentions, doesn't matter. The past doesn't matter. It matters that I recognize it, but there's nothing we can do. And no headline's ever going to be written, Glenn Beck gets hit by a bus, America unites. Never going to be written, the president gets hit by a bus, America unites. It's not going to happen. Because it requires all of us to recognize what each of us did and what each of us are doing. And then, as he said, having an open mind and saying, look, you're still my brother. You're still my brother. We're still Americans. We still want the same basic things. We're not that different from one another. So here's my hypothesis. We may be playing the 1960s out in reverse. The 1960s started with the love movement of this idea of let's be better people. Let's not go to war. Let's not force our views down. And the world is changing as we know it. So let's get on that and make a better tomorrow, a better future. Let's reimagine things better than they are today. That was the hippie love movement of the 60s. And everybody can get on that. And that inspired our music and everything else. By the end of the 1960s, it was about anger and vengeance and vitriol and burning things down and destroying things. We may have started as a marketing campaign. It may have been started as, hey, change, hope, love, whatever. And it may have been sincere. It may not have been. Let's leave that alone. But it didn't, because the people were either not genuine or they weren't sincere about it. And the machinery is $1 billion every 4 years, each side. There's a lot to be won or gained in power and money. It became nothing more than a marketing slogan on both sides. Everything was just marketing. And so we have divided ourselves, and we are now at the beginning of this. We are at anger and rage. There's a possibility that we're playing the 1960s out in reverse. There's a possibility that this ends in the peace and love and hippie movement. And how great would that be?
And that's a good thing, the peace, love, hippie movement?
Not necessarily the dope smoking part and the free love.
Free love.
Now, hang on just a second. The flower children part?
It was okay, probably.
Yeah, when it was like, hey, let's have sex in the street and everything else. They were just saying, let's be good to each other. Let's not shoot each other. Let's be good to each other. Mm-hmm. And you may not have agreed with how they got there and everything else, but that was harmless. In fact, you could make the case that original just let's love each other was really positive. It's when it was turned into drugs and sex and do whatever it is you want, rolling in mud, and then add on to it violence, that was bad. But that was Martin Luther King's message at the very beginning was love. Love one another.
And how amazing is it that two guys from probably, I don't know who this guy is, but
is there a chance he agrees with me on anything?
Is there a chance that he's conservative?
He's writing a column in the Village Voice.
Yeah, he's not conservative. Yeah, but is there a chance he agrees with me on anything?
I doubt it.
Thinks he agrees with me on anything.
Politically thinks? Probably not. I would say that he would identify you as one of the problems he's talking about in the thing he's writing.
And here's two guys completely on
someone who doesn't listen, obviously.
So separate ends of the spectrum. And saying exactly the same thing.
Exactly the same thing.
It's pretty amazing.
Exactly the same thing. That's really a good sign. If we start looking at each other as humans and stop hating each other for our differences and start unite, we're a melting pot. That doesn't mean we don't stand up for what we believe. It does mean that we don't. Let's stop with the hate and the vengeance and stuff. Let's stop. And let's build things on values and principles. Tell me what you disagree with in that letter. That wasn't about politics. That was about principles. Back in a minute.